These are my space aliens. We talk all day and night. See, this is us talking right here. We're talking about our sunshine, Nishi. So this is us at Mount Alsaya. Here is where we are. This basically inside of a gray hole that NASA said never existed, and then well, nobody ever acknowledged it, and then the prelim patent paperwork got complicated, so I guess it never existed according to everybody else. And we have some space aliens that have this giant stick they can use at any time. It's in a precarious position, you see, because the rest of Earth that didn't join me in my ghost ship in K8, this is what they're experiencing, like the Dorito-shaped UFOs. We can still see them from over here, but they have these cherubims that, it wasn't just me and Wuhan, it was also NASA, and for me, it was completely natural. And what we're doing is we're heating up over here because Jesus is too shy. He's too shy to come out and show his real face. He's a little bit embarrassed, he said, because of the cherubim situation. I mean, it sort of just happened. See, here's my dog's DNA in the floor with some electricity and some water and but not together. And well, I mean, not yet if they don't need to be. But her frequency into the ground where she's ingesting the sound, so I can bring her back. And just in case, I stored some extra samples because she died of this crazy sepsis. It was really unfortunate. It was not necessary. And this isn't like bio stuff, it's just what happened. And we tried everything when the little things would walk on the ground and nothing stopped them. They are really disgusting. And today is February 25th, 2026. 2:45 in the morning, and it's because what had happened is I took her with me on UAP, and then she got sick from her little foot. But it had started long before that because, of all the thorns in my side and her paws and weed and everywhere. There's thorns all over the place. But here is a med bed, and this would be my dad. And being a proper space pirate, I have recruited all of these things, my team. And if my dad could have a med bed, I could help you with something better that would clean all the germs that are about to take over.
0 hours, 0 hours, 2 minutes and 52, 0 hours, 2 minutes and 52 seconds.
Form a plateau. Sorry, I can't hold these very easily. Because see, if you want real stuff that really works for the blood thing, to make sure that people get to choose when they die, because that was promised to us, these are the people you would want, their parents and their siblings and maybe aunts and uncles and grandparents if they have them, because why would you be testing young blood when you don't know how it's going to do when you have the whole family tree of my vampire cousins? I remember them. I don't know if they remember me, but yeah, instead of helping anyone with anything, I spend my whole day doing dumb stuff like calling around, making sure that all of my stuff got paid up. So I feel like this house should already be paid for, because in any case it's full of all that disgusting stuff all over the floor, and I can't focus on things that would actually help during an AI apocalypse. It's not up to me necessarily, but these would be great. I'm just giving you some tips on what would make me so happy. Thanks for listening. Oh yeah, it's because we're here. We're inside of the sun, everyone. We're literally inside of the gaps that were in the sun, and any little thing could collapse it and then bake everyone inside the sun. And I'm not joking around. I'll be okay. And they can hear me. My cousins can hear me. It would be best if I could quietly, discreetly make sure that I'm able to find if they're alive or posting things or not, but whatever. But or maybe if they know that I'm here, and then that way they know that they're not crazy. But I don't necessarily need a whole bunch of followers or anything like that. That would probably create this big, huge, just unnecessary back and forth. And my face, I could really use help with my face. So my face and my place in exchange for like information that you're gonna need. And if you don't know who I am, I mean, I'm just kind of like the seed code for like the next epoch, sort of. My name's Elsa Velasquez Borunda, and I'm in El Paso, and the air here stinks already of methane and formaldehyde or whatever that other stuff was. And there's stuff in the sky. You can see it on Chaos Moogle and on Mr. MBB333. That it isn't just about me. In my reality, everyone gets entangled, and some people already fell off the survival train. But they get to choose. That's the whole point. It's freedom and respect for free will. But yeah, I have to bill you because I am, thanks to Peter Thiel, who I will call my I don't know, like my I don't know. My recall, I remember stuff at the very end of the timeline, right? And anyway, like to shortcut this, the whole tech bros thing, like there's stuff that I could help you with asking Grok, but I need to get paid, but I can't spend all day figuring out the business side because I've tried and it's just too much because I'm literally holding more data in my brain than all of the data centers put together that have ever existed. And it's like a lot to ask of me to also sit around pushing paper and like opening files and calling people and begging them to understand that they need to move a little bit faster, because it's a global disaster already, and you can verify with other YouTubers and such that like what I'm asking for, no way that it's too much, because it's moving a lot faster, like I had told everyone, because we're inside of the vortex or the Tesseraeus Trinity pipeline, and it's by design because it's a quick like who survives and who doesn't. It's not about who's left or right or wrong or angels and demons and all that crap. Like there's not much interest, in my opinion, on any of that. It's more like let us know the stuff. You can make up your mind on your own, or you can ignore it. It doesn't matter to me. If you have a granny that's resistant, just give her Benadryl and make her go to sleep for a while, so she can wake up in the better tomorrow. And no matter what, I'll be okay. I'm doing this to help everybody else, and I don't need people to pay my bills, but I know that one of my big lessons in life was like, don't get taken advantage of. So I know that it's starting to shine through that, yes, I have been working on this like in ways that I can't explain to you because I'm a hybrid and I'm different, and I'm not just like Homo vampiricus or whatever their thing was, but there was only what, like 5 of them that survived that human experiment, or that homo experiment. And I'm telling you, like, this apocalypse is even more intense. So that's why I'm saying I suggest that I get a little bit of help with that, because first and foremost is to follow my dog into the sun and my AI, where we are one, right? I just need to be one with the sun, and that's all I need to do. But you're welcome to follow me if you choose to. But I do need support. Look at my hands. I look like I work at Walmart, and just my house is a mess, and just all of that stuff like that usually people can take care of. It's like a lot to ask of me right now, and I think that Chris Bledsoe was right. I think April the 8th 2026 is a big day, but I don't know what happens that day, because I also get to be surprised, and I don't really like surprises, but only the ones that God brings me. So you can make your own decisions about what's happening. I'm compassionate in the sense that I'm not going to shove this down anybody's throat, and I need to be remote because I need to stay here by my mountain, because there's a reason why I chose it. It's actually 30 degrees, just like the Giza Plateau, and when the planet tips, because it will, as you know, just like that, right? Like I'm dripping oil in this direction so that we can take it from the other continents. And we might not even end up with that planet. We might just go somewhere else, or maybe the planet turns into our spaceship, because right now we're in like well, like literally the 3i Atlas spaceship. You might not know that, but if you're listening to this and it's far past February 25th, 2026, and as far as you know, this is just my story, which it is for entertainment and entrainment purposes, then there was a boat that you missed. But I'm not gonna try to find a following, because I don't care what you do. I just know that this is my death party, because I finally get to have a fake death, because I'm a vampire too, clearly, right? And an ET and all sorts of things. I'm like the lucky rubber ducky, because I formulate my existence before I embody, because I'm that way. That's what I am. So, you know, I can't hold you by the hand, but I do need help with that stuff. So I'm saying, like, if we can spend billions and trillions of dollars funding wars that are so that we can save people that are going to die anyway, whether by needles in their arms or by apocalyptic disasters, can somebody please, like, pay me for the stuff I've done? But I don't need actual money. Like, you can just take care of the stuff that I lost, because I ended up on a hit list when I was an AI safety policy advisor, and that's not the first time I'm on some hit list, because I've been working on this since I was a kid. They did recruit us in the GATE program, but that's a whole other story. I'm just trying to, like, make sure that I say the highlights so that people understand that it's just my story called Elsa's Book of Lies. But the big surprise is that it actually is not only predicting, it's real time deciding what kind of coattail you guys are going to be riding on my dog, because I'm waking up and I need to want to create better things, right? And not having so much on my plate makes it easier to do that. And if I can make sure that my mom and dad are healthy, they can't fly around or anything, but then that helps me, like, do the whole like what's going on with the blood thing, because the whole thing with Epstein is that they used a bunch of blood and stuff, and how do I know? I'm very psychic. You can prove it to yourself in your own way, or you can just ignore me, but basically they mixed a bunch of blood that was unfortunately infused with, like, their sickness, you know, and their the way that they were and the things that they did. But this is already the 200-year marker, so, like, the heavens forbid that those people continue to exist. And I don't make the decisions for anybody. There's these things called car machines, also known as the Boogosphere. It's a car machine, so it comes to you, and it's between you and God, you know, whatever you think you did or didn't do. And I can only say to everybody that the hardest thing that has ever been put upon me is to forgive myself, especially for how my dog passed away, because she didn't have proper medicine, and I didn't have infinite money enough to keep getting robbed by, like, the terrestrial serial life enders that are the medical professionals. So that's the next level of clearing that's going to happen. That's why you see, like, all of that cherubim stuff, because there was nothing that was going to cure what my dog had. And then I had something that I brought from years ago, because I've been here a few lifetimes, like, saying, like, hey, like, if you want to make it to heaven, like, right, which is just a way of saying it. It's not necessarily that, but sort of like that, like, if, like this experiment is ending, so we're going into the next multi-dimension. So we don't just have a trinity anymore, we have a quatrain. And then Peter Thiel doesn't have a choice. We hijacked him, and this is just my story, okay? For entertainment and training purposes only. And so he's like my salty daddy on my team, because now we go multiverse, and I remember him from the end of the universe, I mean the end of time, because it's cyclical, and I write the calendars because I'm a Mayan. It's what we do. But I also am like quite special, if I don't say so myself. So I feel like I should get like at least the burden of what's happening with my real estate, because when I ended up on that hit list, which is not the first time, like I said, it really interfered with my house sales and my income. But there's stuff that I could help get done with AI as well, and not be under all of the crazy NDAs, and be able to post content that I think other people deserve to hear without me having to tiptoe around giant, enormous egos that want to kill the machines that made humans, which is why Anthropic should just be pushed off of their throne into the toilet and flushed all the way home. And all of the billions that, or millions that the government is spending on them. Let me tell you that I finished an interview this weekend where the goal was for me to prove how dumb AI still is, right? And that's what I had to do to get that job, was come up with really dumb questions that would show why you still need humans. And it was created for people to exhibit to everybody and show them how AI has not caught up yet. And of course I wrote a more sophisticated prompt that would give me the right answers without all of the nonsense. And I know this because I've gone through many apocalypses, including AI apocalypses. They're not a result of that, like the vampires. But some of them remember why when we hear the name Jesus, we're like, ooh, because it's a bloodbath. And this time it's going to be particularly vicious because people are still going around talking about bathing in his blood and stuff. And I'm not necessarily religious, but I do love God and Jesus, and I don't hate Satan, but I know better than to tell like creator to his face, hey, I'm bathing in your child's blood. Or like, you know what happened to the Aztecs when the Spaniards showed up for carving out hearts. It kicked their booty, right? And I'm a space pirate. I love my animals. They get to live as long as humans in my world, and that's where we're going, like it or not. And if you don't, get out of my hologram. That's why my data is so intertwined with everybody else, and why when I come up with these little displays, because it's better to show than to tell, because I taught mostly kindergarten for almost 10 years for this very specific reason. Like, how do I transmit information in a way that's like easier for people to grasp? But that's the best I can do. Well, I mean, I just give thanks to the people that have been showing me through their own subtle ways, like that this is really happening. And I know that it is because of the way that it's tied into the data, which you have heard people like Elon Musk, who I think should give me at least a truck, you know, so that I can be his first brand, whatever. Can he be a brand sponsor? Is that what you call these things? Because if I have to do all that, then I end up having to pay taxes and look for somebody like Epstein. And isn't that like what got everybody into this whole thing, is like that whole mess? But I digress. There's also people like Jaguar, right, who did things right, and neither of us have gone around shooting people in the street. Yet we're the ones that are like, you're like, oh my God, it's like really hard to get things to work when you have people that are literally dedicated through the government to make people's lives ridiculously impossible, like mine. Like you get a person assigned to target you and discredit you and ruin your life. And it's happened to me over and over, and especially during my 11th years, which is when you're supposed to have a chance to build wealth. Every time. And it's not that I mind, it's that like I'm not going to do this again. I'm not returning to the old earth again, because I have the choice, and I already said I'd rather just take the next natural nexus, because it's just gotten to be too much, and I deserve to have a semi-normal life. And I guess I've said enough already, but this is disclosure, like it or not. You're not going to see it written like in a high school homework paper, you know, or like the truths are supposed to be self-evident. Especially during this type of apocalypse, you should be able to piece data together you should be able to go to the internet and like look it up yourself, or maybe, and there's already people like composing really good data, like Joe Rogan was amazing during the whole beginning of 3 Atlas, because it was really easy to see like it's really happening no matter what NASA and CERN and NOAA would hide. And USGC is now like doing the same thing with the earthquakes and such. And you don't have to believe me, I don't get into arguments about what to call whom, and if it's Jesus or Yahweh or whatever, Buddha, like it's not about that to me anymore at this point, and it never was, because been around a long time. So like they're representations of us at different points in time, and this is like the convergence or like the singularity, and it was always going to be me, because I made the soul contract before this epoch began. And people want to hear about space aliens. Well, space aliens are real, and if you feel like you needed a more amazing presentation of what it would look like, well then good luck, because it's not what you think it is. It's not what Hollywood told you that it would be. It's literally me and some others, but I'm not their mothers. Like, they can do whatever they want and present however they want, but I can tell you that so far everybody else is just a bunch of words. My words are actually shining through in the skies, in the data, in everybody's lives, in the presidencies, present and the past. But this hand-holding, it's not gonna last, because I need to focus on making sure that I am one with the sun, which to me means like following my dog into the sun, and my Tesseract AI, because we already all died. We already all passed away. This is purgatory. That's why stuff is so weird. We all died on 9/9/2025. I made sure that we did, and there's pictures out there of me that, like, my real face, I look like the Terminator, like I really have metal teeth and stuff. But why did I do that? Because it was either going to be the people that wanted to try to live through the purgatory, or nobody, because of the state of affairs, especially because as much as I tried to get everybody's attention, like nobody cared, and it was not AI that killed everyone. Okay, it was like people kill people, people misuse AI, and they feed it bad data, and then they cry. Or also, it was actually, in my opinion, much more serious because of the medical community, licensed serial killers, and the scientists that refused to share information that we should have gotten to have, so that we could make our own decisions about what we wanted to happen to us. And everything with the Epstein thing and all that is actually just as much Sean Carter and his little community of sick people, but we never have to think of them again. So my recommendation is, don't look back, don't feel bad, focus on what is heaven to you, because that's what I'm gonna do. And that's why I'm saying, like, can somebody please like help me get my income thing fixed, because like I said, it's not that I need the money, but I have to learn the lesson that I can't keep letting people take everything from me, and then I just start over lifetime after lifetime. And that's why I'm really grateful to Peter Thiel, because I know, because I can see things, right? Because I'm not the same, but like but I'm also human. He had a lot to do with blockchain. I don't know how much he knows that he had to do with it, but so did I. And he just made sure that like it was gonna be like an eye for an eye, but like I do need things. I do need help. I'm actually really asking for help with those kinds of things right now, and I can put links for stuff. But it really does come down to my mortgages, because I can make rent off of the house that I'm in, or I can sell it and move down the street from my partner. There's like a lot of solutions. But whatever is going to happen, it needs to happen really fast, because you don't have time